Hello, everyone. Hello, everyone. Thank you for being here. Before I begin, I want you all to quickly close your eyes and imagine. Imagine yourself in kindergarten and you could barely speak a word. You know what you want to say, but you just can't get it out. Now you can open your eyes. That was the same exact thing I was going through when I was in kindergarten. My name is Viraj Joshi. I'm a senior here at Unionville High School and will be attending Penn State University this fall. To say that being here today and speaking to you all was not easy, especially what I went through, is definitely an understatement. According to the National Institute on Deafness and Other Communication Disorders, nearly 1 in 12 US children ages 3 to 17 suffer from a voice, speech, or language disorder. I was one of those children. I was born with a significant speech delay. I didn't speak my first word until I was 4 years old. Psychologists recommended that I take a gap year to help improve my speech. My parents said, no way. Instead, my mom quit her job to help me conquer my speech delay and also started doing speech therapy for 2 years, 15 to 20 hours per week. After all that, I was still not improving. I was still tripping over my words, I was still stumbling, and I still couldn't speak clearly. Then came the day, the first day of kindergarten, and here I am on that day. You can also see that aging hasn't really hit me well. In the first week of school, I was moved to another class. It turns out that my previous teacher did not want me in her class because she thought that I was not good enough to be in her class. It was that moment that I realized that this will be an uphill battle, not only my social life, but also my academic life. Shortly after, I was placed in an individualized education program, also known as an IEP. Now, this is not uncommon because according to the National Center for Education Statistics, nearly 7 million public school students in the US are in a specialized education program. First grade came, and I decided to start a new technique to help conquer my speech delay. I decided that I would start to read one page from a book like a speech every single day in front of a mirror. As a result, I started to improve, but there was still more work to be done. In third grade, I decided to do the science fair. I spent months and months creating a project, and here I am with the final product. The day came for presentations, and I was never called to present my project. In fact, I didn't see my project with the other projects that were displayed that day. It turns out that the teachers dismissed my project because I was still labeled. Now, many of you must be thinking that the event left me devastated. But in reality, it didn't. In reality, the event marks a turning point for me. Until this day, the event has been a motivating factor for me. Now, to the teachers that rejected my project, thank you. If it weren't for you, I wouldn't be the person I am today, and I also wouldn't be here speaking this TEDx youth event. So thank you. That's not the end. Don't worry. In fourth grade, I moved to Chatsworth Elementary School. To raise the bar, I was taken out of the IEP. That transition was the hardest and toughest transition I've ever faced in my life thus far. I remember this one time when I received 3 tests back. And in all 3 of those tests, I could see one thing written on top of those tests. And I could see in big red ink the beautiful letter F. So now I am terrified to tell my parents that I just failed not 1, not 2, but 3 tests in a row. Eventually, I had to tell them, so I told my parents that I just failed 3 tests in a row. And my dad turned to me and he said, I'm not mad at you. You see, this is part of life. The letter F does not stand for failure. It stands for find another answer. And it took me a long time to find that other answer. Now comes the transition to middle school. To make the transition more manageable, I was put back in the IEP. But when I was entering middle school, I decided that something different had to happen, that I had to change something, and that I had to have a different strategy. And I decided that from then on, I would start to embrace my challenges. You see, when I was in elementary school, I tended to avoid my challenges, and I tended to table them until I deal with them again. But this time, I said, why not I punch my challenge right in the gut? As a result, by the 8th grade, I was out of the IEP. Simultaneously, in 6th grade, I started to do the science fair again. I represented my school in the Chester County Science Fair and also in the multi-state Delaware Valley Science Fairs. In 8th grade, I was honored to participate in the Broadcom Masters National Science Fair. In that competition, I was named a top 300 semifinalist out of 80,000 students nationwide. In high school, I decided to aim higher when it comes to science research. Therefore, I started to focus on longer-term research projects. In my time in high school, I presented in the American Chemical Society's national conference twice, being the only high schooler to do so. I also have a research paper published, and I also developed a gut microbiome toolkit with a startup in Boston. I was invited by Mr. Tim Hoffman, who is the director of curriculum here at Unionville Chatsworth School District, to present the toolkit to teachers here at Unionville High School and also at Patton Middle School. Now, from my short life journey, I have learned many life lessons, and I've made very important realizations. But 2 of them really stuck out to me. 2 of them are the ones where I embody every single day, and 2 of them are the ones where I want to share with you all. The first one being is that you have to be hungry for success, but at the same time, be humble. As my dad always tells me, you can possess all the attitude anyone can have. You can possess all the knowledge anyone can have. But if you don't have the attitude, forget about conquering your challenges. You're not going to go anywhere. That attitude my dad refers to is to be your best self, strive to be your better self, but at the same time, when someone is in need of help, help them. Also, I had this one thing that kept me going through all these years, and that was support. Every time I went down, my friends and family were always there for me to pick me right back up. And that is no different for you all. If you look around in this auditorium, you have people here that are always going to be here for you no matter what. You have people back home that are always going to be here for you no matter what circumstances are presented. The second thing I realized is that life is meant for you to fail. I know it's harsh, but the good news is that failure doesn't matter. I have failed many times in my life. I have failed so many times that I am primarily responsible for my dad's gray hairs. Sorry, Dad. But what matters in life is how do you react to those failures? And I'll give you an example. I was once taking a karate test, and my karate instructor sat everyone down, and he said, I'm going to fail some of you. And if I fail you, you have 2 choices. You can either quit, or you can either work, or you can either come to class more often, work harder, and try again. And I think that same thing can be applied to life. Whenever you fail, you can either quit, or you can either go back, see what went wrong, fix it, try again. As my mom always tells me every single day before I leave for school, be nice, be confident, be responsible. But most of all, be your best self and strive to be your better self. And that is the key to conquering your challenges. So, what are you waiting for? Next time you have that challenge, punch that challenge right in the gut and show that challenge who you really are. Thank you.